Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. It is here, the long-awaited October manga haul / September, because I forgot about September because I was busy. So here we are. Ooh, I mean, like, it's not bad if we separate it between the 2 months. Okay, it's still bad, but I'm like, I can't really justify it. It's fine. But before we get into some recommendations, you guys know the drill. Let's move into the manga montage. get into some recommendations. A little quick story though. So the reason why this happened is because Right Stuf Anime, and if you haven't heard me talk about this before, no, it's not sponsored how I wish it was. Right Stuf Anime had a sale on my two favorite genres, which is BL and romance, specifically romance, and so I spent a good chunk of time going through every single page looking, and I ended up getting, I think, like 10 new series, but just like the volume ones, like I wasn't gonna completely splurge. And then I read all of them and I'm like, well, I like all of them. So what ends up happening is, like, I had volume 1 and 2 of this series, and now I have volume up to 29. So that's the tea. But anyways, we're gonna get into some little recommendations here. I've got 5 for you guys today, and I think they're really good. So let's start with number 1, which is Missions of Love. Now, this is so cute. I've only read the first, I think, 3 volumes, but I am in love. So the premise of the story is this girl, she writes like online novels and stuff, so online fan fiction and whatnot, and she's always like listening to her classmates saying like, this writer's really good and I wonder what they're like in real life. But she's known as the Ice Queen. Like, she just has like a stare that like makes people uncomfortable, so she doesn't really have a lot of friends, but she has her cousin who's nice to her and all that. But all the readers are kind of wanting a little bit more romance, but she's like, I don't know what that is. I've never experienced romance. So she blackmails the most popular guy into doing romantic things with her. And it's hilarious because the guy actually has a notebook of all the girls that have confessed to him in his grade. And he's like, it's like a competition for himself. He wants them all to confess. And so what she does, I'm sorry if this is spoilers, but it's too good. What she does is she photocopies his entire book and like puts it everywhere. It's hilarious. Oh my gosh. I laughed so hard. This poor guy thinks he gets the upper hand on her, and then she just like turns it like that and she's like, no, now you're gonna hold my hand. I need to know what this feels like for my novel. But she doesn't let him know that she's writing a novel, so he doesn't know that. But it is so good. It is so funny, and I'm loving it. It's so cute. The art style is also pretty adorable. Look at that. It's like pretty cute art style. That I'm aware of, it only has 19 volumes. I don't think it's ongoing, so correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but yes, this is really cute and I really loved it. So yes, let's move on to the next one. Alright, so the next one we're gonna move on to is Her Royal Highness Seems to Be Angry. Now this is volume 2, but I do have volume 1 on my shelf. I just got it another month, but I finally decided to read them, and let me just say, I am a sucker for like ancient, that's not the right word, historical, that's the word I'm looking for, historical manga, so like set back in, but they like also have magic, which I think is really cool. So basically it's this girl, she's living her life, she's like a sorceress and she can use magic and she's really powerful, like super OP, marries this guy, everything's dandy, and then all of a sudden the neighboring country decides to invade and kill everyone in their village, in their kingdom, and it ends, the first little bit kind of ends with her, she dies too, but then she wakes up 1,000 years later, and it's, you know, still historical, but I'm like, everyone's super weak when it comes to magic power and she's still super OP, and she wakes up though and her fiance is like the prince, but he doesn't like her because apparently she doesn't have magic. But then she wakes up and she's like, oh good, I still have my magic power. Now she's super OP and could definitely beat him. And there was this one funny part where there was a little target and the prince is like, I'm so good at like firepower, and it hits the target, but it didn't blow the target up or anything, he just hit it, and she's just sitting on the sidelines like, wow, his firepower is so weak that it can't even blow it up. Dork. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm like, I can't wait. I'm like, just rub it in the prince's face, he's so mean to you. And I was so frustrated, but I'm like, oh my gosh. Again, the art style is super pretty. I'm like, look at this. This is so pretty. I love this art style. The storyline is so good. I'm living for it. If you like historical like animes, if you like historical mangas and you like magic powers and you like romance, this is a really good one. So again, and this is a newer series, so this is volume 2. Volume 2 is the newest one. So yeah, this will be available. Alright, you guys know me. I have to throw in at least one boy love. That is a part of who I am. And I do like them for the plot. A lot of them are for the plot, okay? So don't come at me. But this one is the one and only BJ Alex. Woo! If you haven't read this one, have you been living under a rock? It is probably one of the most popular webtoons, which is finally why we have an English physical copy. Ah! I actually read this series online. It is completed online if you want to read it, but they just started releasing physical copies, and my copy 1 and 2 came in early September, and I was so excited. I mean, like, I'm trying to get to a page where there's not a lot of freaky stuff. Where's that page where, oh, things are falling out. Hold on. Yes, okay, hello. I am so excited. So basically, the premise of the story, I could stop doing like weird tongue movements and stuff, is this is like a cam guy. So instead of a cam girl, it's a cam guy. And you know, they run off this website and stuff. And one guy really likes this guy. And he's like, oh, he's like attractive and whatnot. And then I'm gonna have to call them Guy A and Guy B. This is Guy A. Guy B is the pursuer. So Guy A does the cam show. Guy B thinks that this guy's body is hot, Guy A. And then Guy B eventually finds out that Guy A is in his school, and to keep him quiet, Guy A is like, okay, well, I'll sleep with you if you keep it quiet. And it's just like this whole story on how eventually Guy A realizes that he was a big twat and that he mistreated Guy B, and then eventually, you know, good things happen too. It's such a cute story. Oh my gosh, it's so well written. I love it so much. And I mean, like, look at that art style. Gives me little tinglies, but this is so good. I'm like, for a BL, it's so good. The physical copies are quite pricey. I mean, they are in color, well, as much color as they can be. I think this one's mostly colors like red, gray, and black, so, but they are thick, and it did come, well, mine came with a little picture. I'm not sure if they do now, but they are quite pricey. For the 2 volumes for me, it cost me $70 plus shipping, so not sure if that's something you guys want to do for physical copies, but you can read it online, so it is a good story if you like boy love, so yes. Alright, moving back on to the romance front, we have Vampire Dormitory. I never watched Twilight, so I'm living my vampire teenage lives now through other means that's not Twilight. This is a new series. Volume 1 came out in September, I believe, and I love it. It's super cheesy and cliche, but you know your girl loves that. So basically it's about this girl, and it looks like she got kicked out of her house, and so she's scrambling to, you know, live on her own, and she like sleeps outside a lot, which is really sad. But she dresses as a boy. She hides to herself that she's not a girl because she doesn't want to get attention from potentially creepy people on the street. So she pretends that she's a boy, and all of her work thinks she's a boy and all that. Unfortunately, she gets fired from her job, and then she almost falls off a roof, but this vampire guy saves her. So that's their like first encounter. She ends up going, and she cuts her finger somehow, and then the cafe that she goes into, the vampires work there, and he's like, oh, well, I can help you. And so he, you know, classic vampire thing, blood on the finger, ugh. And he's like, ugh, gross, blood is gross, get out. And so she leaves. But apparently every vampire story, I feel like, is different. So in this one, your blood will taste gross if you're not loved. So like if no one was giving you love and affection, or cared for you, your blood will taste like poop. If someone really loves you and they're giving you lots of love and they're taking care of you and they're just being sweet to you and kind, you know, a human need, everyone wants to feel loved and whatnot, then your blood will taste sweet. So eventually they come together. I can't remember how long because it was quite a while ago that I read this book. But eventually they come together, and he doesn't know that she's a girl still. But she ends up living with him at his boys' dormitory, and he's like, well, how about this? You can be my snack thing. So I'm also not using the right word for that. you can be my snack thing, so basically a person that he feeds off of but will not kill. You'll be my snack and I will give you love so that your blood tastes sweeter for me. And she's like, yeah, okay, deal, that sounds good. I just have to hide that I'm a girl, not a problem. She gets education, gets food, shelter, seems all good for her. I'm not gonna spoil what happens at the end, but I'm like, I am loving it. Again, it is a very pretty style of manga, so just saying. And if you like vampires and romance, I mean, like, this one's really good, so yeah, it's really good. Alright, and last but finally not least, we have Skipbeat. Now this is quite a long series, which I didn't realize when I got the first 4 volumes. It's ongoing. It's an older series, but I think they're going on volume 46. So that just lets you know what you're getting yourself into if you decide to crack this one open. However, if you do, you are in for a treat. This was hilarious. Oh my goodness. Hilarious and like drama filled, and it's so good. Basically, it's about this girl right here, and she follows her boyfriend to Tokyo so that he can do his music career and become famous. So she has an apartment that she works her tushy off for. She has like 3 part-time jobs, which she pays for the apartment and the food and the everything, and he is just like there to go do his music stuff. So it shows it when he's kind of becoming more famous and whatnot, and then she finds out that the reason he brought her was so that she could pay for everything, so that she could be a mother and like do all the chores and feed him and all that. And that's the only reason why he brought her. And I was like, what? I was so shook. And then she was like, you know what? I'm gonna show him. I am gonna be more famous than he is. And I'm like, you freaking go, girl. I'm like spitting onto my camera. I was like so freaking shook. But I'm like, she ends up changing her entire look, and she stays with this family because she moves out of that expensive apartment after he found out that she knew. And she was like, well, F you, and like, and I'm like, yes, girl. And so she was like so persistent and stayed like stalking this producer guy who works at a company, and it was hilarious. But I'm like, she's finally in, and I'm hoping that her career is gonna soar. I can't wait to see what happens next. I just want her to like kick his Katushi. He's such a ding dong, and I don't like the ex-boy. Were they even dating? The friend was a ding dong, but she like loved him, and very, very frustrating. But anyways, talking about the style, it is like an older manga style because, you know, it came out quite a while ago, but it is still a really good story. I can't wait to see where it progresses. I hope she becomes more famous than him to like show him that she's better and that he was a ding dong, and that, you know what? Maybe she was the best all along and he can just go like suck a rock because he was so mean. I can't even. But anyways, enough of that. That is all for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the recommendations, and as always, if you have anything that you want to recommend, put that in the comments below because I read them and I do add them to a list, and quite an extensive list, but I am getting through it right now. So yeah, I love you guys a lot, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!